I was planning to dive right into the investigative aspect of my theory, but I've decided to save it for the conclusion, parts 6 and 7. Part 2 is going to explain 1. How I think Tupac survived, 2. Whom I believed helped them do it, and 3. Why is this all necessary? Motivation, and 4. What I think the last piece of the puzzle is. The Black Liberation Army, BLA, helped Tupac evade death. BLA Commander-in-Chief John Thomas, no facts and no specific data is revealed regarding the activity of the BLA in order to protect people who are either functioning in the BLA, Tupac, or who have been a part of it. The BLA is basically a secret underground. Not many people believe they are still active. The Black Liberation Army is a political military organization whose primary objective is to fight for the independence and self-determination of African and other oppressed people in the United States. BPP-BLA Comrade Assata Shakur was liberated and BLA soldiers were captured during Nyack Brink's armored car expropriation. Mutulu Shakur is one of them, the mastermind. For more on BLA, go here, source. Only registered users can see links. Click here to register. Understand these terms, comrade and mastermind. Definition of a mastermind: a highly intelligent person, especially one who plans and directs a complex or difficult project. Know that Tupac is both a comrade and a mastermind. Take note of his only uses of the word came at the quote end in the Machiavelli album, etc. Various times he mentions his comrades. We also hear speeches from some mixed in with songs. He mentions Sekuo Odinga, Yefeo Fulu's father, Geronimo Pratt, Mutulu, Mumia, etc. as his equals. The murder of BLA Commander John Thomas in September 1996 in Las Vegas, Nevada, as well as Dr. Shakur's statement from Part 1, surely the FBI was in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996, is more than enough, quote, evidence to me that agents were present. Remember the murder tape? Well, it was first introduced to you all as a, quote, surveillance video. How many times has Tupac stated that he was, quote, under surveillance by the feds? About a dozen. More on that later. Tupac had a plan for that night. He knew going to Las Vegas was unavoidable. It is a common fact that he repeatedly told Suge he didn't want to go. However, he didn't go alone. His comrades, who waited anxiously to attack the first agent they saw, were watching Tupac. Agents concerned with the assassination, quote, stopped the BMW. If you recall, the excuse was, quote, loud music, in order to create a change of plans. You see, Tupac never expected to get shot that night. He planned to go to war. But something happened, and I'm not sure what. But John Thomas ended up dead, and Tupac was successfully, quote, shot 4 times. Lord knows what else they did. Asterisk, 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 warlike codes are dispatched to other comrades. Mau, mau, untis. Asterisk, 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 quote, ride or die, ride or die. Do you know what that means? It means, quote, the enemy is here, kill or be killed. Giovanna Thomas, the 19-year-old daughter of John and Igne Thomas, was, quote, undercover as a paramedic who called for an ambulance. They say it was the Metro Bike cops, but they never identified those men, so they are full of shit in my opinion. Besides, I like my theory much better, and I could prove half of it. Giovanna arrived to the location with another comrade. No one suspected anything, and they took Tupac away in an ambulance. All I know is Tupac got to the hospital and Giovanna was found dead in the medical uniform. Fact or fiction? Go to your local library and look up old articles. It is my belief that the mystery paramedics were BLA soldiers. There is a dotted line break. There are so many theories out there on who killed Tupac. My theory is quite simple and to the point. Anyone who knows anything about COINTELPRO would easily see this as another one of the government's plot to create dissension amongst black people. See, I see it like this. The government at some level was involved in the death of our comrade by assassinating Brother Tupac. This would cause an all-out war from east to west. They used Tupac's anger towards East Coast rappers as a stimulus to create a war amongst us. If the U.S. can find a microchip and a trackload of sugar, surely they could find those responsible. There are cameras all over Las Vegas, yet not one was in the vicinity of the shooting? Conveniently, all of the evidence pointed to Orlando, the beating victim earlier that evening. And then he was killed. Then we look at the murder of Yaki Gaddafi in New Jersey. You have to look at a lot of things to understand what is going on. If this was an all-out operation to help Tupac avoid prison in New York and to leave death row, the Black Liberation Army is the one group who could have made it happen. If you think you're not understanding that Tupac was very close to, and a part of the Black Liberation Army, the new generation, he is commander, now Code of Arms, Thug Life, the BLA. Tupac did make it happen. Note, John Thomas and Ignay Thomas took care of Tupac Shakur, Tupac's little sister, when Afeni started using drugs. Tupac went on about his career, early days, Digital Underground, etc. He went to Atlanta to get training from Mr. John Thomas himself. They are all one big extended family of soldiers. Just want to make that clear, because sounds like you're not sure if the BLA would have been involved, and Tupac is the BLA.
Just let me ride, just let me fly, just roll my green up to the sky. Just sit on back and enjoy this ride, cause we gon' burn it slow tonight.
Part 2 continues now, investigative aspect. The day of his death, I Ain't Mad at Ya and Life Goes On are released, both of which talk about his death. According to Chris Reed, I Ain't Mad at Ya talks about forgiving a friend who was present at his death, possibly set him up. Yeah, what's up, Suge? Everybody know you killed his ass, but only I know you just tried to. A drive-by is defined as when shots are fired from a moving vehicle. There was no drive-by because the vehicle was not moving, and the assailants got out of the vehicle. So why was the BMW shot so many times if the shooter had direct contact? Because it was supposed to look like a drive-by. Why was Tupac found in the back seat? If he moved in the back seat and they sprayed the car that much with him and Suge still in it, then how the fuck was he hit only 4 times, LOL, and Suge not at all? Common sense. Watch CSI or something. The shooter got out of the vehicle was not moving. It is a fact, not a belief, that the shooter approached the car. Suge said that himself. He slipped out. Tupac got his finger shot or cut off. It was missing. How exactly has not yet been determined. How do we know it's missing? Well, interview with rapper Yo-Yo. Reports from David Pooh of UMC. Newspaper articles from 1996 with comments from the director of media relations stated he had several wounds, including a missing middle finger. His injuries imply that there was some type of struggle. 09/1996, Tupac stayed at the Luxor Hotel. After the incident with, quote, Orlando Anderson, he went back to his room. He was upset because he was supposed to meet up with the Outlaws, but they didn't show! How do we know this? A worker at the Luxor Hotel told reporters of Tupac's odd behavior. She said he came to the front desk more than 5 times in 30 minutes, asking if his friends came looking for him or left a message, even after I told him no one. He said, "Are you sure?" I would say he was a little paranoid or nervous about something. Yasmin Fulu on the remaining Outlaws. That's blood in my eye. She says, blood in my eye. If you don't know what it means betrayal, but so deep that now she wants revenge. She sees only their blood. Why didn't the Outlaws meet Tupac at the MGM? LOL, damn! Fear is stronger than love. However, Comrade Gaddafi is different. He was aware and was purposely held back from getting to where Pac was. Even witnesses say Gaddafi was on the other side of the hospital lobby when the rest of the Outlaws were on the opposite. Why did he keep his distance? He knew shit was foul. Guess what, guys? That's why he's dead. You think he was going to be quiet? That's Tupac's family. The people involved in the movement considered themselves one big family. That's why Yaki and Pac grew up so close. Plus, for those who ain't knowing, Sokoa Udinga, member of the BLA, in prison for life, is Yaki's father. So the feds wanted him too. Tupac got fucked over big time. Suge Knight would have been clear if he wouldn't have gotten greedy. Because of his greed, Tupac figured out what was really going on. Tupac made a call to Yasmin Fulu to set up the down payment for the new building that was supposed to house Euthanasia Records. Yasmin calls Pac back. There is no money in your account. What? Tupac is pissed. Reason why the contract is highlighted in the movie Resurrection is because he was supposed to be paid $1 million advance for 3 albums, unrefundable, and due upon signing, September 16, 1995. $1.5 million for publishing. Tupac wrote all of his own lyrics. $500,000 due upon receiving Are You Still Down? $500,000 due upon receiving untitled final album, which of course was later called Machiavelli, The Don Cluminati, 7-Day Theory. For Tupac A. Shakur, total amounts paid shall be $4.75 million for 3 albums, $2.25 refundable, which the following projects add $1 million each. Live to Tell, which was a screenplay. Before I sign, these things must be included and changes must be made. The option clause must be voluntary. All figures from actual contract. Tupac fired David Kenner, and then he thought long and hard. Suge is my friend. Why would he not pay me? Etc., etc., etc. Tupac started putting shit together, thinking about everything. He tested Suge. I think I'm going to go Atlanta, work things out with my family. Pac. No, you have to come to Vegas, man. Suge. Something else to ponder. The reason why Tupac stayed, quote, alive so long is because Suge is greedy. He liked the money Tupac was making for him, but he was supposed to get rid of him ASAP. Ha! That's why it didn't work. He took too long. Everything got rushed because Pac fired David Kenner and officially left Death Row. Suge knew he had to hurry up and do it while people assumed they were so close. That way most people wouldn't think of him as a suspect because he was a friend. But this would have went down, say, in September of 1997, and Pac had his own company up and running with no more ties to Death Row, he would have been looked at differently. Don't even let me get started on Trayvon Lane. He really fucked up by going to Club 662, which is really derived from the California Penal Code for Death Row 662, not the letters MOB from the telephone keypad, LOL. Trey got to the club and told people Pac just got shot by that Crip we jumped earlier at the MGM, Baby Lane, Orlando Anderson. Hence, he began spreading their, quote, alibi. LOL, someone please explain how the hell Trey knew that. When number 1, they said they didn't see the shooters, they lied. Number 2, Suge lied because he said he didn't know who shot Pac or have any idea. And number 3, plus everyone who was following behind the BMW was held at the scene by the police. So how did Trey, Buntry, Neckbone, and Heron, who just so happened to be riding all in one car together, 4 men, get away? How did they get away? Why weren't they held? How? Why? Impossible! They did it! That's how they got away. Tupac was caught off guard because the people who pulled up next to him were familiar faces. Buntry is no blood. He is a member of the Bounty Killers. They are known for killing anyone for a price. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. That was just a couple of key points I wanted to make before continuing on with my, quote, theory. It is important that you keep the above information in mind while I continue on with my theory. Otherwise, you will get confused. This is a very complex theory, and I'm doing my best to explain it as clear as possible. Signed, No Grapes. One person's theory is another statement of the facts. I put a lot of time into the theories I write. I spend countless hours gathering correct dates and specific facts to back up the majority of what I say. And for that reason, I tend to be extremely sensitive to any opposition that is not also supported with substantial evidence. My theory differs from that of others because I believe it 100%. I really cannot stress the amount of appreciation I have for you all that take the time to read my thoughts, findings, and facts.
Just let me ride, just let me fly, just roll my green up to the sky. Just sit on back and enjoy this ride, 'cause we gon' burn it slow tonight. Just let me ride, just let me fly, just roll my green up to the sky. Just sit on back and enjoy this ride, 'cause we gon' burn it slow tonight.